Good morning, YouTube. How's everyone going today? Morning, YouTube. How's everyone going today? So today I'm gonna be here answering questions about indie comics, how they can make money off indie comics, what are some of the best sites to publish them on, and so forth. Some marketing tips. So I hope you guys who are watching are ready to come at me with some questions. And while I wait, I suppose I can get into more details about how to make your own comics too. Why not? More information, the better, I guess. Well, when I started out drawing comics, I didn't have ideas right off the bat. It took me time. I had to I had to basically live my life and wait for inspiration to come to me, and that's basically how I've written all my comics. A lot of it comes from whatever inspires me at the time, whatever pops into my head at the time. Work. There's always some new idea that pops into my head, and like I said, it didn't start out that way. At first, when I was making comics, I started drawing like my own Spider-Man comics, Batman, drawing picture stories, anything that got me putting pencil to paper, that forced me to draw so I could develop my drawing skills. And at some point I was doing Knock Knock comics. By Knock Knock comics, just comics on Knock Knock jokes. I wish I had those with me to show you, but fortunately those got destroyed. Sucks. Those were quite good. Little kid drawings, but still. I remember this particular one. It's about these two kids telling knock jokes. You go like, knock, who's there? A monster? Monster who? There's a monster behind you. I had like a big snarling monster behind one of them. But yeah, and just doing things like that, like doing comics based off jokes, that's actually a good place to start. People like to laugh, and people like to look at funny drawings as they do. So that's actually a perfect place for you to start. For anyone who's never made a comic in their life to actually start. Getting skills trained up. Grab a pencil, start drawing. There's no such thing as bad drawing. Drawing is a art of. It's an art form of self-expression, just like singing, dancing. It's something no one can take from us. You know, that's how I started. You know, oh, good, I got a pencil right here. When I was first drawing, this is what my drawings looked like. For example, I'll draw a little monster. That's roughly what my drawings used to look like when I first started. As you can see, definitely not the kind of quality I draw today, which is at this standard. So yeah, that's my first bit of advice. If you're just starting on making comics, I highly recommend you pick up a pencil, pick up paper, start drawing things. Even if you don't have an idea for a comic just yet, maybe you have a character design in your head you want to try to put on paper. You know, go ahead, do that. You know, I can actually show you the very first comic I ever made. Hang on, it's in the containers somewhere. Maybe. Well, guess we'll look at all the storyboards then. Now here are some of the earlier projects I was doing. Around when I first started. Yeah. Back then my character used to be called Almighty Eye. Before he was called Almighty Eye, he used to be called Deadeye. And he was called Deadeye. Well, I had to change his name when I found out Marvel had a character named Deadeye. Which Deadeye, you can only just see him on the top logo part here. But you know, like here, like look at the quality here I was drawing here. Yeah, that's how I first started. No, you wouldn't say that is you know, Marvel or DC comic standard, would you? See what I mean? See what I mean? You look at this. You look at this compared to. Hang on, I'll grab it again. to that. You can tell my art improved over time. And it wasn't from me going, these aren't good, I can't draw, I'm just going to give up and not do it. It came from me persevering. I kept drawing. And it got to the point where stuff like this. This, what we're looking at, is my own comic. I got this printed. I got this on sale now up at Indie Planet, which is a good store for selling indie comics. And as you can, Kablam's the place that prints the comics. I'm pretty sure them and Indie Planet are basically the same thing. But yeah, you create like an Indie Planet store and a Kablam account, and basically you get your comic uploaded and print it through Kablam, and then you can choose to sell and host it on Indie Planet. Which, if you're living in the US, definitely I recommend this because it'd be cheaper for you guys because you live in the United States and these are manufactured in the United States. Unlike me, I live in Australia and I have to pay through the roof, like almost $100 every time I order in some of my own copies, and then sometimes I gotta sell them at a ridiculous rate here in Australia in order to make some of that money back. But we all start somewhere. As a comic artist, we all start somewhere. Comic artist, comic writer, like I said, you can start off small, work your way up. I was doing Knock Knock joke comics when I first started, and sooner or later, in my teen years, I was a very big horror, really big horror fan. I liked my horrors. I liked Friday the 13th films. I liked Nightmare on Elm Street, the Saw franchise. I liked all that stuff. And the first comic I actually tried to make from an idea that was mine, which I have no idea what I did with the like printed copy. Back before I had these printed like this, I was just printing them off my computer and stapling them together myself. Well, anyway, if you ever saw that was very badly drawn, to be honest. It was very badly drawn. Stuffy nose. Irritating me. But yeah, but bottom line is that wasn't bad. That was bad, pretty bad drawing. Back then, I was also using Paint, the art program Paint, to do the edited art of my comics. That didn't turn out very well either, but I still finished the project, and mind you, I did like how it turned out. I was very proud of myself that I was able to finish that project. It inspired me to keep going, and eventually my comics became artwork like this. So you see, if I can do it, you can definitely do it too. I have no doubt. But yeah, and as to that first series, that was called The Curse of Hell's Court. It was the first Chase Hoodlin story ever done. But for those really familiar with my channel who have gone through and watched all my content, you should know who Chase Hoodlins is. And from there, it was all about. After I finished The Curse of Hell's Court, I just kept developing, and eventually I started coming up with more ideas from that. I always wanted to do like superhero crime fiction, in the lines of Batman. So eventually I came up with Almighty Eye. This drawing here, this was the first appearance of the Addictor, or as he was named at the time, Dr. Nicotine. I ended up changing his name because Dad's a smoker and he didn't like it. He didn't like that I was putting crap on smokers. But it's okay. The Addictor, I think, is a better name anyway. But yeah. The Almighty Eye, The Life Addiction, the new graphic novel I did, is actually based off it. I'll actually grab that out for you in a second. Actually, partially based on this story. Basically a remake. So start doing things like this. You're not going to be able to read it because for some weird reason, web cameras always display things back to front. I don't know why. If anyone has any suggestions on how I can fix that, let me know. Because that is a bit inconvenient, I think. Especially if you're trying to show someone something specifically. Something specific. Yeah, and this is how my first comics were done. You see my artwork there. It wasn't particularly, like I said, it wasn't particularly good. We all start somewhere. So you inspiring creators out there, yeah, definitely don't give up. So yeah, if there's anyone here actually watching this live stream, yeah, make your presence known. Don't be shy. Pretty cool here. The Addictor tries to rob a bank. He's got his entire gang there. The 7s. And this guy's like, sees this mysterious man in the corner. He's like, hey, stick him up. And it turns out it's the hero. And bam, knocks him unconscious, and everyone goes to jail. Good thing about the original stories, they were entertaining and laughable. Probably not a bad idea if I did comics a bit more lighter, not so much dark. Everyone's always processing to darker and darker things, and it's Come on, life ain't that bad. But yeah, and from what I did after that, because I started thinking to myself, there's got to be a way you can get your stuff out there, you get your comics out there, your content, and of course there was YouTube, of course. I'm thinking there's got to be somewhere that you can have your own comics made into a comic book and maybe sell them, or at least have them displayed somewhere. So I started looking more into that. I started looking into that. I was searching everywhere. I was even looking up YouTube videos to try to see if I can find a spot. And eventually I found a YouTube video done by Mr. Dead Ink, who I'm giving a shout out to right now. Hey, Mr. Dead Ink. Let me know if you're there. He had a video about it was called My Self-Published Comic, or How to Self-Publish a Comic. And next thing I know, he's looking at this book, like this actual book he had printed, that he actually had printed, and it was all like a proper book, and it had all these comic drawings and comic art in there. I'm not sure how well his comics do, actually. He's probably made a bit off them. I'm actually curious about that. But anyway, he was saying that he had his published on a self-publishing website called Lulu.com, who do all the manufacturing work for you. You just upload your files and they'll put it into a book for you. And when people buy the book, they basically make it to order and ship it out for you, and you get some revenue off it. Used to be 50%, but this time I think you only get about 30%. But if you choose to sell your book as an ebook over there, which is a electronic book you download into your laptop, your phone, basically what it does, it basically downloads straight to your computer, and you can view it there. You can sell those as well, and you get about 50 to maybe even 60% of that. And yeah, so I started making and self-publishing my books there too. I've even managed to sell a couple here and there, which was pretty cool. It was a cool. It was an amazing accomplishment for me. And I was able to, I had this printed on there. Stiff, A Hard Day. It's a pretty interesting comic, actually. It's about a zombie. Copyright notice. So yes, I do put copyright notices on my comics. These are copyright protected. In fact, in Lulu, it's a requirement. You have to put a copyright license on it. But yeah, this story is about a zombie, and he doesn't understand why he's come back to life. He's not like a zombie, like as in like Walking Dead zombie. He's like, he actually has his intelligence. Personality-wise, he's still the same person. Just has a habit of eating people's brains occasionally. But yeah, so basically he's just someone who's trying to live his new undead life in peace. He just wants to do what he wants now. He he was basically, origin story wise, he was just a normal person who saw a mob murder once, and the mob had him killed, thrown into a coffin they made, and dumped into the ocean. There he's out sleeping with the fishes. See? I notice that every time I draw gangsters, I make them like the old 50s gangsters. I guess I just like that era. Anyway, somehow under mysterious circumstances, we still don't know why yet or what, he suddenly awakened as a zombie, and he's been on a bit of a rampage since. He does whatever he wants when he wants. He occasionally does get his head blown off, but he doesn't die. No matter what people do to him, he doesn't die. He's been shot in the head. He was run over by a van driven by a chick driver. Still perfectly fine. Apparently, the costume he wears is a costume he stole off some kid who was going to a comic convention. Needless to say, he more than likely ate him. Yeah, but it's a bit of a dark comedy. But most of the time, he does try to eat criminals rather than the innocent. But yeah, it's a good little comedy. Next story in here is pretty funny. Joyride, where he tries to get his driver's license. Ends up totaling the car. But yeah, I got these printed on lulu.com, self-publishing place. If you Google lulu.com and self-publishing in Google, it'll pop up just like that. This is the back cover here. It's hand-drawn back cover of Benson Deep Space, which you can read some of that comic on YouTube. So far, no one's really interacting today. So right now I'm just talking. But yeah, so yeah, Lulu.com, definitely a good place to start out at releasing your comics, as well as Indie Planet. Indie Planet does much better quality work than Lulu, I must say. And it's actually made from material they use to make proper comic books. Unlike this thing, which will probably more likely give you a paper cut. Actually, I've been lucky so far. But yeah, as to what do we have here? Here's another hand-drawn comic I did before I could get my stuff printed. Definitely Australian themed. Australian superhero, boxing kangaroo. For those who don't know, I'm Australian. Yeah. It's all about a boxer who's also secretly a crime fighter. He goes around stopping criminals. He stops a criminal here who's robbing a grocery store. And he wears boxing gloves when he punches out criminals. I like the idea I came up here, like right here where he's stopping the purse snatcher. Not sure if you can see, but if you notice his boots are springs, so he can bounce around like a kangaroo. Yeah, that must have hurt, being kicked in the face by that boot with the spring on the end pushing against you. Oh, brutal. But maybe this is sort of like a superhero comedy. Just another one of my fun little projects. My legs hurt. Practically twisted up my leg yesterday trying to take a splinter out of my foot. Splinter was hidden like right on the side of my foot, really hard to dig out. Nasty. Alright, so since no one's here asking me questions, I guess I'll just jump in. Try explain how you can make money off your web comics and indie comics as best I can. Well, my experience, having your own online store like one on Lulu.com and Indie Planet are definitely good. But of course, they're not going to really sell that well unless you try putting yourself out there. You need to have some sort of marketing strategy in place. Now, I don't have my own website, and I hear that's actually one of the best options. Having your own webcomic can having your own website can help bring traffic to your online stores, and people might become readers, and those readers might become buyers. So yeah, I do recommend having a website. Every time I've tried making a website, it just hasn't worked out for me. But just because it didn't work out for me doesn't mean it's not going to work out for you. I just can't make heads or tails on how to make the website. But that's me. But strategies I use are like I try to take advantage of my social media, even my Google Plus account, any form of social media I got. So I do tweet about my stores. I share my stores on Facebook. Joining groups that relate to what it is I'm sharing. So if I'm making indie comics, I want to join Facebook groups that are about indie comics. So whether there's a group, and there are lots of groups out there for it, believe it or not. Like there's a group there are groups out there specifically for selling and marketing your indie comics. Kickstarter, that's another way to make money off your comics. You can do a Kickstarter to try to generate money so you can make more comics. That's definitely a way to go. Kickstarter, crowdfunding, things like that. Which I've never actually used myself. Quite frankly, now that I think about it, probably wouldn't be a bad idea for me. But, at least then, of course. So like I was saying, yeah, joining groups on Facebook, definitely a good idea. There are other ones too. Like if you got free content you want to share, you can join other indie comic groups or web comic groups where you can share your free content. Like if you host your comics on a web comic site like I do, that's actually where I make the most money, actually. Where I host my web comics. There's a link in the description of this video for those of you curious. But yeah, when using a webcomic host, like a webcomic site to host your comics, put your comics on. I use Tapastic, or as it's probably called now, Tapas. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but yeah, they allow people to share their comics in there for free, and you can eventually build your webcomics up to the point where you qualify for their ad revenue program, because they run ads off your webcomic sites. I'm not saying you're going to make a lot doing on Tapastic. When I first started, I was getting maybe 50 cents a day when I first started. But now, these days, because everyone's getting ad blocker and all that thing, I'm lucky to make maybe 6 cents a day. 6 cents a day, and that's only because of me sharing my content from that website, posting it on my social media and sharing it all the time when my episodes update. If I wasn't doing that at all, I wouldn't get anything at all. And it's a lot of work for 6 cents a day, but it does keep me motivated. That's one way. Tapas is one way to make a bit of money from it. I'm not saying you're going to make a lot, but you can definitely make some extra cash. Definitely make some extra cash. You won't necessarily be big or famous on Tapas, but it's definitely a start. It's definitely worth thinking about. I hear I think it's called Webtoon. That's another webcomic hosting place. I hear they're pretty good. They're pretty good. They're pretty good for exposure, as far as I know. But I think you have to be like really, really popular before you can submit yourself to being. And you don't get paid ad revenue, I don't think. I think you get paid. They basically pay you to keep you creating comics. At least that's as far as I understand it. So your webcomic hosting, you can actually make money from it. You could host your webcomics in a blog, maybe make money off a blog. That could also go towards helping you make money off your comics once they're completed, which I sometimes do, which I probably should do more often. In fact, I might actually experiment with that later. Let's see what else. What else is there? Another way you can make money selling your books online at online stores, or if you're really game, you can try getting them printed, selling them off yourself, distributing them yourself. You could hand them to people as free samples that might draw in more readers. They might come back and draw and buy, like the next issue. So, for example, let's say this is the first issue of Stiff here in my hand. Let's say I had a bunch of these printed up, and I wanted to just give these away as a freebie. Yeah. I want to make sure that in the book itself, when I first print it, make sure you put like a site, like a link in the site or website URL somewhere in the comic book. I recommend, because that way, if you hand these out as free samples or you put them in people's mailboxes, whatever it is you do, if people look at them and they like it and they see where it comes from, they might be more inclined. They might actually go online and buy the next issue. That's just Just one. That's just one idea. But yeah, there are some marketing tips. Even if I were to just grab a pen right now and just write the link, write the website where this is from, right here beneath the copyright here, I could do that. In fact, I might do that. You know, another trick you could do is take some free samples of your work and go maybe slip these in places. Like I heard of someone who brought more readers to their site by going into a library and putting their book on a library bookshelf. Someone found it, took a look. Someone found the book, took a look, and next thing you know, he was a buyer, and they drew in buyers that way. That's probably not a silly idea either. Oh. Let's see. Well, that's just a couple of ideas I'm giving you here. Another thing you can do, you can also order. I only recommend this if you have like a spare couple $100 or something, and you're confident you're going to be able to sell them all. You can always mass distribute. You can always buy a certain amount of copies of your own comic and try to sell them off to friends, family, and things like that. It's actually worked for me in the past. I once ordered in about 20 comics in, and I managed to sell them all. I had a $300 payday once. One person, one of my friends, bought a copy of every single one of my comics, and that was really awesome. Easiest $300 I ever made. I just had a meeting, met him at Browns Plains. He paid me. We caught a little bit and chatted. Yeah, that was really awesome. That was an awesome day. So yeah, those are a few ideas, and those are some things that have worked for me in the past. But like I said, as to becoming like big and famous for it, like creating web comics, indie comics, it's pretty like a lot of people do it because of it's a way of expressing ourselves. Same reason why I do it. I do it because I love doing it. I love creating things. I'm not necessarily in it to make millions or to make thousands. I'm doing it because I just love doing it. People want to support me and buy my comics. They're welcome to. They're welcome to, or if they don't want to, well then they don't have to. All right. Another good site I recommend, if you're going to sell your comics, I recommend Sellfy. You can sell digital downloads of your comics on there, like I do, which is I like giving that option to people because it's a cheaper option, and you can have the comic right then and then. You don't have to wait on delivery or postage or a mailman who can't be bothered walking up the stairs to give you a package, and then you got to chase up the package. It's the most frustrating thing about postage. Yeah, and postage companies wonder why they're losing business because their mailman can't be bothered delivering a package, I find. But yeah, so anyway, But yeah, I have made some good sales on Sellfy. So every now and then, someone buys a digital download of my comics because, well, they're cheaper. Some of them are only about $1 in US currency. I think the most expensive one I got there is about $3, something like that. Graphic novel, Mighty O, The Life Addiction. You can download that for just $3. So yeah, Sellfy, I definitely highly recommend that. And when you get paid, it goes straight to your PayPal. There's no withholding, there's no threshold. It goes straight to your PayPal. So you can basically have that money in your account, in your bank account, you know, that day if you wanted. Definitely. Hmm. So yeah, those are a few strategies on making money off it. But the biggest piece of advice I can give you guys is do it for the love, not necessarily the money. Do it because you love doing it. Because I find that if you're actually going about it like you're trying to make money, I find it doesn't really work out that way. It's like they know. It's like they know you're trying to make money. It's like someone tipped them off. But if you do it for the love of it, you'll always get a certain sense of enjoyment for what you're doing. You'll always enjoy what you're doing. You'll enjoy making comics. You'll enjoy making more just for the fact that all these people are reading it. Even if only 5 people read your comic ever, to me that's worth it. I mean, that's my advice on it. Well, I'm going to end this live broadcast now. It's, it's a shame no one could really be here to really join me today or ask questions. I was hoping I'd get a few questions asked so I could better explain this better and go into more detail about it. But I suppose I can just try again some other time. Hmm. So I did have people telling me they were gonna. I had people telling me they were gonna come, but maybe they got the time wrong, or maybe I gave them the wrong time by mistake. I'm pretty sure AEST is Australian time, like here on the Gold Coast. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe next time I'll say 11 o'clock Australia time, or Brisbane time, or Gold Coast time. I don't know. But still, I'm happy to do more like broadcasts like this. Me being a small YouTube channel like it is, I suppose I'm gonna have the occasional live broadcast where no one views me. Yeah, it's all good. Well, anyways, I better get going. Got some other things to do today. Um, for the According to this, looks like I've got one viewer here. To him, want to say thanks for sticking around. Then again, maybe I'm the one viewer. Oh, actually, yeah, I probably am because I got the video screen here. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. Well, Anyway, I think that's enough for now. Yeah, I'll just try again next time. Better luck next time.